trying to figure out the bit for this week. No, that wouldn't be funny. No, that would be too expensive. Yeah. I got no bits.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. It's July 5th, and we got more polls for you. It's a big Venom week. It's different Venom titles releasing. I bet you wouldn't have thought that would be a thing, but it's a summer symbiote, so you better believe it. Lukas, what's your first pick?
So my first pick is Night Terrors, the Joker #1. This is going to be an interesting little, basically taste to see if this Night Terrors event is going to be any good. But I think it's really funny. The idea of taking Joker and just his worst nightmare is literally him being a normal person. I think that's very funny. So it's just him being in a workplace trying to deal with like normal workplace stuff. And since it's the current author and team of the book, I know that they are going to write Joker very well. Like I have a gut feeling that they will. But also this is a pretty hefty book, 40 pages. Surprising amount of story for a #1 Night Terrors. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes.
I think because they're only 2-issue minis, they're going to be chunkier issues. I do believe
that makes sense, then.
That's what they're going for, because they got to like get enough story into just 2 issues. So I don't know. I think the minis will just be fun. But speaking of Night Terrors, my first pick is Night Terrors First Blood, which is going to be the kickoff event the kickoff book for this whole event. Deadman's supposed to be a heavy part of this. That's why I'm excited for this myself. I always love me some good Deadman. So, yeah, I hope it's good. I really don't know what to expect. I hope it's not just, an event that doesn't change anything in the universe. I'm hoping for at least a little bit of switch up a status quo, something like that, something that has a lasting effect. But yeah, First Blood.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I mean, this is going to be they're committing to this event pretty heavy-handedly. It is written by Joshua Williamson, who personally, I don't really like him that much for events. I like him for the individual characters. I think he has a good voice for every character, but the thing is that, like, when he's trying to juggle all these characters, I feel like he really can't. But I guess we'll see, especially with all these minis, how they handle that. And yeah, Deadman being a important part of the story is definitely going to be interesting and exciting. Also, someone pointed out that the original Sandman's in the background.
Yes, indeed. I'd like to get some action from him as well.
Yeah, it was just really funny to me that like we had just talked about the original Sandman like 2 days ago, and now he's suddenly in the book.
Yeah, Sandman Mystery Theater is about the JSA Sandman, not Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Yeah, very confusing.
We did not know that. Oops.
Yep. Anyway,
what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Swan Song's #1. This is going to be a miniseries where every issue is going to be the ending of the story, which one is already an interesting idea, but also is by the same writer from Ice Cream Man, and this first issue is going to be drawn by the same artist from Department of Truth, Martin Simmons. So I'm really excited. But apparently it's going to be focusing a lot on the artists. So like Homesick Pilots is going to have their own, the author for Homesick Pilots, Caspar Wingegard, is going to be on an issue, and Felipe Andrade, which did The Many Deaths of Lila Starr. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I mean, having the ending of the story basically be the beginning is interesting, especially because this will be an anthology series. So apparently it says it comprises of stories about endings, the end of the world, the end of a marriage, the end of a sentence, the end of the end of the world. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looks very Looks very different. Looks very unique. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope that it's.
it caught my eye with the cover
strong.
alone, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Image, baby.
Yeah.
Next up for me is Venom Lethal Protector 2, number 5. I've actually really been enjoying this book. It's like a light read. It's just enjoyable, not super high stakes, just some kind of classic Venom fun, you know? It really does kind of throw
Yeah.
you back to the 90s with the writing style and the art style. And in the last issue, Doom stole the symbiote from Eddie and now has this very interesting look with the symbiote. Not what you're seeing on the cover, but different look on the interiors. But yeah,
Yeah.
this has been a really fun book, and I'm curious to see how it wraps up.
I think this book started off kind of like the first issue, but I think it's definitely picked up as the series has progressed. So I'm actually excited to see where this last issue goes. This definitely is a Venom story for people that have been missing like classic Eddie Brock Venom from the mainline series, the mainline Venom series. So I think it's good that they're having both of these series kind of run at the same time to give people the best of both worlds, basically.
Yep.
Next up for me is the finale of I Hate This Place. We're ending at issue number 10. This is the ending of the series. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Apparently, we had a prophecy that the world's going to end because of the farm. And we're finally getting to the point where everything's kind of coming to a head. There's time travel now. There's ghosts. There's like a bunch of stuff. Last issue, we found out a pretty cool thing where the ghost can actually kill the people that they touch through the way that they died, which is pretty horrific. So, like, let's say like a ghost got bitten by a giant spider and died. Like that's a thing. All of a sudden, if that ghost touched you, all of a sudden your neck will just like explode from where that spider bite would have been on you. It's like pretty fucked up. But yeah, no, the series has been fun. I've been enjoying it. I always like when series have a beginning, middle, and end, and it feels like this is a good ending point.
Next up for me is Extreme Venomverse number 4. I wasn't expecting to like this series, but all of the Venom stories have honestly been pretty strong. They are unique in the areas that they cover. So this issue we're going to get a Venom Noir. First time we're going to see Venom in the Noir universe, so I'm very, very excited for that. Alyssa Wong and Ken Nomura are working on a manga style Venom, which is very exciting as well. And then we get Peach Momoko writing and drawing, as I understand, a more plant-based Venom. So honestly, they've been thinking of really unique Venom variants. So I've been really excited to check out this book every release.
Yeah, I definitely think this batch of Venom variants have been so much more interesting than the last Venomverse event. All these characters seem legitimately really, really engaging. And honestly, some of them seem more interesting than some of the Spider-Man counterparts, like the Spider-Man variants. So I'm excited to see where this goes. It seems like everyone's kind of spreading their creative wings. And Venom's a hard character to beat design-wise, but most of these designs have always been somehow topping the classic Venom design.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny. I really have been enjoying this more than the Spider-Verse book right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It just feels like more thought has been put in each character and how they could play in an event that they're gonna do later.
And maybe it's also just because there's been more Spider-Verse, Spider-Sonas and Spider variants than there have been Venom variants, so could be it too. But either way, this book is always fun.
Next up for me is Love Everlasting number 9. Too Hip for Love Part 4. I've been really enjoying this. I like this version of the last 2 issues where we haven't been able to escape this loop, and now we're getting to the point where Joan has just kind of accepted her life. We got to see her break a lot, like mentally, killing the animal, her neighbor's animal, and like doing all these crazy things. to basically prove that she's not actually here in real life. And the fact that the year never changes from 1963, I think, or 1961. But yeah,
63, yeah.
yeah. But either way, I've been really enjoying it. I'm really excited to see where this goes because this feels like this is going to be the big shakeup because it is the penultimate issue of the second arc. So next issue will be the last one for a bit, and I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm definitely excited.
Word. Yeah, wrapping up soon. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I really was down for this concept, but it's been dragging a little bit for me. I just think it's taken a little too long to get to this point. I wanted maybe more of a break of the system or something like that. Just a little bit sooner, because now we're going to go into 9 issues, and I don't feel like Jones really made any progress. At least, as much as I would have liked to see.
Yeah, true.
So that's just me. I don't know. She, like, her being stuck on one guy like Don for a long time is like weird, because there's still going to be hints of the cowboy, and I just want, I guess what I want is more answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd like a little bit more explanation now that we're this far into the book, and especially if it's wrapping up soon too. But that's just for me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's that second story arc, so I don't know if this is the end of the book either, but yeah, we definitely need some answers because if they start a third story arc and we still don't have answers, I might not even keep going, to be honest.
It just gets a little frustrating because there's a lot to read on every page. There's Jones' internal monologue, and then there's obviously what they're saying out loud. I do like the moments where where she switches from the very classic speaking style, the 60s speaking style, to just like, don't make a fucking big deal out of it, like when she drops the plate. Like, I do like stuff like that. But again, I just was hoping for a little more development this far along in the book.
That's fair.
Next up for me is Night Terrors Poison Ivy #1. The reason I'm excited for this is because it's still being written by G. Willow Wilson, so it's not another writer taking over.
Sorry, I was just going to say, it seems like that's consistent with most of the Night Terror one-shots, is that it's just the same team.
Most of them, yes. Most of them, I don't think all of them, but most of them. But yeah, I mean, main Poison Ivy book's been really good, so I'm down for Poison Ivy of all characters to have some sort of nightmare sequence. I think is going to be very entertaining. There's a lot to work with when it comes to messing with her head in an art way. Like, there's going to be a lot of interesting art opportunities, places to get abstract with the drawing style, stuff like that. Obviously, we see that on the cover already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious how this is going to be.
Kind of giving Love Everlasting vibes.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting, especially because she does have a lot of unresolved stuff, like her relationship with Harley and how shaky it is at times due to the fact that they're both villains or anti-heroes, depending on how you view their perspective. And then also on top of that, just like their place in the world as like individual people, and the fact that they both have trauma from severely awful men. So it's going to be interesting to see where that plays into the dream and nightmare sequence.
Definitely.
My final pick for this week is Daredevil number 13. Lucky number 13. I'm really excited. Last issue was phenomenal. This is the penultimate issue before this run ends. Zdarsky has completely, I think personally, made a phenomenal Daredevil run. I've read it from beginning to end, and it's been really exploring Matt's character, I think, in a really interesting way. But the last couple issues have been really, really intense because we've kind of seen Matt brought to a new low and seeing him do things that he probably would have never done before at the beginning of this arc, or even at the beginning of this whole run. So last issue ended with him killing himself, basically, by tricking Elektra to stabbing him with with her sai. It was a whole sequence where we got to see different versions of themselves over the years, from the early days to the 90s to the 2000s, and Matt basically narrating that this is how their dance always goes, and then eventually he's realized that he has made her the best version of her that she could be. He's definitely helped along that line, and now he can tell now that she no longer has the ease of killing. And so to stop him, he has to basically like trick her into stabbing him. Not trick her. Basically, he uses his baton wire to wrap around her arms and pulls her into him to stab him. And then he dies, and then he shows up in hell with the Beast. He's now apparently going to go fighting against the Beast. His father was there to cheer him on as he walked down. And as he stepped off the platform, his suit started burning away, and it became all white. And it was a really cool visual. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this wraps up. It's been a very cool progression for his character.
Yeah, definitely. What's your last pick?
So the book I'm most excited to read this week is Peacemaker Tries Hard #3. This series has been a blast. Always lots of good laughs, good comedy. The last issue featured Peacemaker and Monsieur Mallah on a adventure that at first wasn't voluntary, but Peacemaker found himself having a lot of fun. And just as he completed the mission, Monsieur lit him up like a fucking... Yeah, he's full of bullet holes now, and I'm really wondering how the series is going to continue from here.
Yeah, the series has been great. Definitely a great continuation of the James Gunn show. If you love that show, yet again I say, read this book and vice versa. This has just been a good fun time, honestly.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see it continue. It's only a 6-issue mini, so yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm very curious to see how they continue the story from this point.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, this has been the weekly polls for July 5th. It's July already. Pretty crazy. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics.
See you guys next week.